And I love those birds, man. They come out here and they're so curious. I had 3 of them coming and checking me out last night when I was just relaxing by my fire. Oh man, they're so cool. I love the gray jays. I haven't seen any today though, but it's just a matter of time. Same with, bears probably. It's not really a question of if, but when. This is big time bear habitat. Black bear and grizzly bear territories overlap out here, so you get both. I've encountered a couple of grizzlies out here already, last year and the year before. But last year there was a huge boar grizzly out at the end of this valley where I'm hiking to, at one of the lakes. Man, he was amazing. We were in the same lake swimming. We had a moment, it's not too often when you get to share a beautiful moment with a big predator like that, but man, it was so cool. He was in the lake, jumping in, splashing around. I was in there ice bathing, so we were really kind of sharing that same energy, that same enjoyment of the water. It was really a beautiful thing, and I watched that bear closely for a good couple hours as he put on a display for me, a display of play, which is not common for an adult bear, young bears for sure. So it was really a special moment. I've never forgotten it. In fact, I have become fairly obsessed with bears since. To a fairly large extent, I would say. Learning about their behavior, ecology, studying bear attacks, bear safety and awareness, so that I can also help people learn how to come out in places like this and not be afraid, to enjoy these amazing wild spaces that we have in Canada, where there happen to be, big predators, and how we can stay safe in those environments through prevention, through awareness, but also, in the case of worst case scenarios, how you can survive an attack from a bear, or how you can certainly increase your chances, because there's no guarantees. So when I'm out here, I'm definitely bear aware. I'm not paranoid, just bear aware. And I've always got my first line of defense, which is right here. Okay, my bear spray. Without a doubt, this is going to be the most effective thing for me to carry out here to defend myself from any predatory or defensive bear attacks. I've been offered to carry some firearms out here. I'm licensed to carry firearms, but I don't want to carry a firearm. I'm not super proficient with firearms, and so for me to rely on a firearm as my go-to for a charging bear, it's not going to work great for me. My aim's not that great. I haven't put the time in at the range, and even if I did put the time in at the range, a charging bear is going to get you completely adrenalized. Your fine motor control is going to go. Your depth perception. You're not going to be able to, unless you're like an amazing shot and you've practiced on moving targets. There's no way you're going to line up a shot and take that bear out as it's charging you from a novice, gun guy like me. bear spray is much easier. You know, I can literally deploy that within a second, flip off the safety, and this baby here's got like 30 to 40 feet range. Okay, so I can stop a bear pretty quick when he's coming at me. You know, I also, of course, you know, I always carry my knife with me, you know. Really, it's, you know, more like sort of, you know, it's a utility tool really for me when I'm in the bush, right? But, you know, if I have to use this to defend myself from a bear attack, things have gotten way out of control, you know. If I'm close enough to a bear to have to use this to try and save my life, I'm basically fucked, okay? But, you know, it shouldn't come to that because I'm bear aware. Bear safety is paramount when I'm out here. You know, they're the thing that I'm going to be the most concerned about. But you know, you just got to respect that I'm in their turf here, right? This is their backyard. I'm just a visitor here. Although, hey, I've got just as much right to be here as any other living organism. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm part of this earth, part of this land. You know, I'm welcome here. But as long as I follow good protocols, then all the creatures around here will also accept me here and give me my space.